Well, what we want to let everyone know is that the Library of Congress is their library.
Dr. Carla Hayden has spent her life among books. Her drive and passion for knowledge has led her to become the first woman and the first African American in history to lead the Library of Congress.
Hayden is responsible for overseeing the world's largest library. The new Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, joins us at the table.
Before working in Washington, she was chief librarian of the Chicago Public Library and CEO of the Enoch Pratt Free Library right across the street from Bliss, and one of my favorite places in all of Baltimore. Dr. Hayden is a trailblazer, an advocate, and a true Bliss power woman. The opportunity to interview her was so exciting, and I had to ask her about another interview of hers I saw. You got interviewed by Kermit the Frog.
One of the highlights.
Time sure is fun when you're having flies or something like that.
So as a founding board member, what inspires you about Bliss?
Looking into the future by looking into the eyes and lives of the Bliss students, knowing that there's going to be a future and you just fill in the blank. That is what Bliss does, and it inspires everyone, board members, teachers, parents, everyone that's involved with Bliss knows that they're looking at the future.
My head was full of so many questions as I sat down to talk with Dr. Hayden over Zoom. I was so excited that Bliss gave me the opportunity to speak with her. So tell me how you became a librarian at the Enoch Pratt Free Library right across the street from Bliss.
In library school, we studied the Enoch Pratt Free Library because it was the first library in the United States to have programs for teenagers. In fact, Bliss students were part of the inspiration for the teen center that's in the Central Library, because we knew the school was right there and we wanted that teen center to seem like a second home to you.
And they encouraged us a lot to go there, like, oh, you need help on a project, do it at the library across the street.
That's right.
It was convenient.
And that's what we had in mind. And I say we because I was there when we were planning that. And because of my Bliss experience and being part of the founding board and knowing what the plans were, it was like, you don't need to replicate something that the Pratt Library can offer right across the street.
What does it feel like to be not only the first woman, but the first African American to be named the Library of Congress?
Being the first person of color was very significant for me because people who looked like me were forbidden by law to learn to read. That's why Frederick Douglass said what he said. Once you learn to read, you'll be forever free. So that part of being a person of color, heading up the world's largest library, means quite a bit.
I, Carla Hayden, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
When people say, what's your favorite book? And it's still my favorite book, Bright April, when I saw a little girl that looked like me. She was brown, she had 2 pigtails, she was the same age, she was about 8. And I still love that book because I could see myself in it. When you have role models or people you see doing something, you can imagine yourself doing it. And that's why it's so important that people see themselves reflected not only in books, but on the news and other things that are positive.
And that just reminds me, I was talking earlier about how I think there should be more Black people within fantasy, like the fantasy.
Yes.
Because sometimes I just want to watch a fantasy movie and see a Black elf or something, because they're probably out there, they exist.
They are. So you might want to do what I think the writer Toni Morrison said. You can write the book you want to read. There is an opportunity for you to think about and start sketching out what kind of movie plot you'd like to see with Black elves. That would be really cool.
It would be. Maybe it would be the next Harry Potter. Who knows?
Yes. And you can write it.
And as our conversation came to an end, I got to present Dr. Hayden with a gift from Bliss. We wanted to actually thank you for being our power.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. And guess who I'm going to make sure sees it? My mother. We really appreciate it.
I'll never forget the chance I had to interview a true power woman.
But Sean, I really have enjoyed meeting you and talking with you, and you are really an example of what bliss is. So thank you.